Anima Flux is a couch co-op Metroidvania in which you control two genetically enhanced super soldiers, the no-nonsense laser bow-wielding Eileen and the rough-around-the-edges laser sword-wielding Roy, as together you fight through a mutant bug breakout in a stylized dystopian space city. Oh, and if you, like me, are a strong independent solo gamer who don't need no friends, don't worry, because the computer AI is here and ready to help. Kind of. Outside of its fun co-op twist, Anima Flux is a pretty familiar Metroidvania that follows the tried and true formula that did Hollow Knight. And by that I mean you'll start out in complete and utter confusion, lacking any map, skills, quests, or semblance of a coherent plot. From there, you'll begin exploring the game's vast network of interconnected rooms, meeting NPCs, and getting some much-needed context along the way, before inevitably hitting an obstacle like a locked door, hydraulic crusher, or simple gravity, and needing to then go find a skill upgrade that can get you past it. Easier said than done, as each of said skill upgrades is nestled inside the warm, acidic bowels of a giant bug mutant boss. These fat baddies come in all shapes and sizes, except they don't. They're all indistinguishable bulbous bugs and share similar movesets. Luckily, it's a lot easier reaching them and killing them than it was in, say, Hollow Knight, as Anima Flux is pretty generous with its checkpoint system. And the shortcuts you'll unlock give you pretty direct, uncontested paths to each fight. On victory, you'll receive a big burst of currency, a nifty hand-drawn cutscene, and a game-changing skill upgrade. All of the usual Metroidvania skills are on display in Anima Flux, from dash to double jump to a downward slam you'll use to break through barriers. And so, as you gradually carve your way through the map, gaining new skills and buying upgrades from merchants like increased weapon damage, armor, and elemental attack sets that you can use to get through, you guessed it, even more barriers, you'll too gain a satisfying sense of progression that makes Anima Flux very hard to put down. But just because a game is addicting doesn't mean it's worth recommending. And despite its flaws, Anima Flux does just enough to earn a thumbs up from me, and that's thanks in no part to its story, which suffers from a nonsensical plot, unlikable and unchanging protagonists, and some occasionally awful text-based dialogue that adds shockingly little to the otherwise interesting atmosphere. Lucky for Anima Flux, narrative has never meant much to Metroidvanias, which tend to instead prioritize things like combat, level design, and visuals. In all three of these aspects, Anima Flux holds its own. Being able to swap from melee to ranged on a whim is fun, especially because enemies will target the character you're controlling, making it easier to focus on dodging while your AI ally pumps out damage. The level designs and visuals, meanwhile, combine to create some memorable biomes and points of interest, which is important given how utter shite the map is. Really, the map's legend is so useless you're better off just memorizing where each merchant works. There are a couple of other small gripes, none worse than getting to the end of a boss fight only to have said dead boss glitch out in a freaky twerking loop that forced me to restart and try again. In the end, Anima Flux is an okay Metroidvania, and if you, like me, are a fan of the genre, well, you'll probably like this game. However, there isn't all that much of it. I beat Anima Flux in a little over 7 hours, though I did leave some optional collectibles scattered about the map. Still, for 15 to 20 bucks, consider me neutral on its overall value. I'm giving Anima Flux an aggregate mega score of 3 out of 5, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have about the game or my review. Until next time, this is Scope, and thanks for watching.